Today's video is all about classic attractions at Walt Disney World. Attractions that captured our imaginations when we were younger, and then we grow up and we see that they still capture our imagination today. Now, the word classic is kind of a general term. You could say all attractions that were only open during these years, or ones that have only been around for such a period of time, but that kind of takes the fun out of it, at least to me. So today I'm going over classic attractions that I personally loved when I was a kid, and then I grew up and I also love them, and they're still there. The first one is Astro Orbiter. You get in your rocket, you blast off, and you're flying around with amazing views, the Contemporary, Cinderella Castle, Tomorrowland, and so much more. As a kid, it really does feel enormous, and as an adult, it also feels enormous. You're really flying. 3 classic attractions at Walt Disney World that cannot be missed: Splash, Space, and Big Thunder Mountain, which make up the original mountain range of the Magic Kingdom. I love all 3 of the original mountains. They all offer some unique feel to them: the bumpy ride of Big Thunder, or the splash of Splash, or flying through space on Space Mountain. Now, I know Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is kind of on that list, but since it wasn't around when I was a kid, I'm not including it on the classics list. It's still a great ride though. Formerly Delta Dream Flight, one of my favorite attractions, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. As a kid, you were always trying to get the high score. As an adult, usually I can get Galactic Hero, usually, not always, but it's always a lot of fun. A classic that has been at the Magic Kingdom for many years, it's the Country Bear Jamboree. I enjoy the Country Bear Jamboree so much that I have the soundtrack in my car. It plays pretty frequently. Another great classic attraction at the Magic Kingdom, the Carousel of Progress, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. I didn't ride it as much as I probably should have as a kid, but every so often we did as a family, and it was a lot of fun. As an adult, many trips to the Magic Kingdom involve Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. Now, it's technically not an attraction, but the Electrical Water Pageant is one I really wanted to add to the classics list. The Electrical Water Pageant are those special floats that go all around the Contemporary, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and by the Magic Kingdom, showcasing different animals, and I can still hear the soundtrack in my head. It is a great show and a true classic at Walt Disney World. Another one that's more of a show than an attraction is Fantasmic. It's undergone a few changes over the years, but the core story is still there, and I absolutely love it. Another one of my favorites as a kid that is still around today is Dumbo, and Dumbo is so popular there's not just one Dumbo, there are 2 side by side. As a kid, and even more so as an adult, the Haunted Mansion is one of my favorites at the Magic Kingdom. It's a Small World is another classic where you can see something new just about every single time. I look around and I almost always see some new item somewhere. Another classic that you can find at Disneyland and Walt Disney World is the world-famous Jungle Cruise. And something interesting about the Disneyland Jungle Cruise, they have piranhas. We don't have piranhas at ours, so that's kind of a cool change. I was a little bit older when I first rode it, but Kilimanjaro Safaris really does have that classic feel to me. It is classic Animal Kingdom, and I can go again and again and always see something new. It's not an attraction, but you knew I was going to add it to this list. Illuminations Reflections of Earth is one of those classic fireworks shows that I absolutely love. It is being replaced very soon. I'm going to miss it tremendously, but I do love it, and it has been around for a long time. One classic attraction that continuously gets updated throughout the year is Living with the Land in the Land Pavilion at Epcot. Living with the Land is Disney's greenhouse tour where you ride in these boats and you look around at everything there is to see, and Disney continuously updates the plants. The gardeners there are taking care of everything around you, adding things, taking things away, changing things. It is so cool to see again and again. The Mad Tea Party has remained relatively unchanged since I was a child, and even though it's a little bit more difficult for me to fit in the teacups nowadays, I still do enjoy it. Another classic that is more of a show than a ride that I really do feel needs to be included with the classics list is Muppet Vision 3D. I really like the Muppets, and seeing them at Hollywood Studios adds to the magic. I really do hope they update that show in the future. It needs just a little bit of updating, not that much, just a little bit, and it would be a brand new attraction for us all to enjoy. Spaceship Earth is one of those attractions that I really enjoy. It reminds us to stay connected as a community. It's had several different narrators over the years, but it is always magical. Even though Test Track isn't as old as some of the other classic attractions that I listed, it still is a great one, and I rode it when I was about maybe 10 or 11 years old when it first opened, so I still consider it a classic. The Hollywood Tower of Terror is one of those classic attractions that I enjoy enjoyed a little bit as a kid and grew to enjoy even more as an adult. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room is one of those attractions that never seems to get old because you can look around and see something new just about every time. There was a time when it was under new management by Iago. Some guests liked it, others didn't, but now it's back to the classic. The Magic Kingdom Railroad is still under construction at the time of filming, but it is my personal favorite way of getting around the Magic Kingdom. There are so many classic attractions at Walt Disney World that I love. Let me know your absolute favorite classic attraction in the comments of this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.